Jai Hind. I am here to discuss on the topic of importance of rate analysis, measurement book and financial stock taking report for a tender. For proper understanding and assimilation of this topic, I have divided this topic into three parts. Firstly, we will see what is the importance of a rate analysis for a tender. Then we will see what is the importance of a MES measurement book for a tender, and then finally we will understand what is the importance of financial stock taking report for a tender. For proper understanding of this topic, I have divided this topic into three parts, that is rate analysis, the elements associated with the rate analysis, and what is the importance of rate analysis. For acceptance of a tender, it is essential to carry out rate analysis of 10% items to arrive at reasonability of rates to decide whether to accept or to retender. It also helps to work out details of various elements constituting the cost of item of work. Now, the rate analysis of prices is needed for various purposes. The following purposes are enumerated. Firstly, it helps us to work out the prices of the items that are inserted in the tender at tender stage. It also helps to check the reasonableness of the prices that are inserted by the tenderers. Thirdly, it helps us to optimize the use of resources to affect economy into the cost of construction. Fourthly, to work out the rates payable for extra items based on actual cost to a builder, and also to revise the schedule of rates due to increase in the cost of materials, labor, or due to change in technique to execute the tender. Now, what are the elements of a rate analysis? The elements which constitute the cost of rate analysis of work are the direct cost and the indirect cost. Now, what are direct costs? The direct costs are the materials and the labor, and the indirect costs are the tools and plants, water and minor sundries, establishment and overhead charges. So, how do they affect and what are they? They are like salary paid to the site staff and also the main office, the rent, taxes, stationery, postage, telephone, lighting and water charges, etc., depreciation of office contents and furniture, interest on capital and loan charges, bonus and insurance to be paid for the staff, mobilization and demobilization cost, erection of accommodation for staff, labor and other amenities. It also includes light vehicle transportation for managerial staff and other supporting staff, including the workforce to go from work site to their place of living. It also includes site laboratory for quality control, for testing of equipment and tools if not separately included as a pay item in the BOQ. It includes watch and ward charges. It includes traffic management, including safety management and the environmental protection. It includes financing expenditures and insurance charges. It includes GST taxes and other duties that are to be covered in the contract as per stipulations in the tender as a part of contractor responsibility. And finally, it also contains the contractor profit, which is usually taken at 10% to the total cost. Now, what is the importance of rate analysis? It helps us to find the actual cost per unit item of the contract. It helps us to find out the costs which are not given for the items included in the tender or executed in the tender, to develop a star rate which is used to execute and pay the contractor. It can help in getting a clear idea of cost of all the elements of a contract document and help in deciding its total cost. Also arrive at a 10% limit cost as approved in the ADAM approval. It helps in management of freak rates for an item which is either 50% above or below the estimated rates or the costs. In case of freak rates, for freakishly high items, the upward revision is not allowed. However, a contractor can be requested or asked for downward revision of freakishly high rates. Quantities cannot be increased for freakishly high or freakishly low beyond 25%, or neither can be decreased. Now, what are freakishly high and freakishly low rates? As per contract manual appendix 3.8, the rate of item which is more than 50% above or below the reasonable market rate which is assessed by the department is considered to be a freakishly high or freakishly low rate. The correctness of estimation of the quantity in respect of such items shall be checked by the accepting officer and also re-verified from the executives that the quantity of these items which have been included in the tender on the basis of known facts are reasonably estimated. Considering the overall reasonableness and the financial implication of freak items, the decision shall be taken by the accepting officer as to whether to retender or accept the tender. In case it is decided to proceed with acceptance of a tender, the freakishly high rates shall be referred to lowest tenderer for revision or reduction of rates, and his response shall be considered while arriving at the contract sum. The item considered freakishly high or freakishly low shall be conveyed to the executives to restrict the variation in quantities and ensure that the quantity of freakishly high item not to be increased and quantity of freakishly low item not to be decreased beyond 5%. If the restriction of quantities, that is within 5%, is inescapable, such deviations shall have prior approval of the next higher engineering authority. Now we come to the second topic, that is the importance of measurement book for a tender. For proper understanding of this topic, I have divided this topic into 5 parts, that is MES measurement book, typical MES measurement book, how does it look like, process of measurements, issues related to measurements, and importance of measurement book of a tender. The measurement book or the MES measurement book IAFW 2261 is the most important book of record of a contract. It records actual measurement at site as the work progresses in consonance with the contract and which is to be paid at contractual rates. It is a legal, auditable document which is also called MES measurement book IAFW 2261. The MES measurement book looks like as on the view foil. It has got all the details of location, division, subdivision, name of the officer who has issued it, to whom it is issued, the date of first entry, the date of last entry. Also, it gives details of all the things like name of work, the name of the contractor who is executing the work, name of the MES measurer, that is usually a JE, situation of work, exact location of the work, the agency executing, for the agency which is being executed, agreement of work order number, date of measurement, abstract number, how many payments on running account have been made, for previous measurement the MB number which was followed, and also the total number of pages. And it also includes the column wherein the measurements are booked using the serial numbers, dimensions, content, and the particulars giving the calculations of the measurement book. Now, what are the processes of measurement? The recording of measurement in the MB is usually done by a competent junior engineer or a JE. Both JE and AGE are responsible for accuracy of measurements. Site check in addition to MB up to 25% is carried out by the engineer in charge. All measurements when entered in an MB are signed by JE, AGE and the GE. ACWE contract or DCWE contract may exercise the test check as the circumstances may require or may prevail. The recording of measurements in the MB is done by following methods: using IS 1200 Code of Standard Method of Measurements, using the preamble of SSR Part 2 for measurements, using mensuration formulas, and also the procedure as followed if specifically mentioned in the bill of quotes or schedule A notes of and specifications. Now, what are the issues that are critically related to a measurement book? Sometimes there are improper measurements which are to be corrected. Sometimes measurements made by MES are to be done in absence of a contractor rep or representative. Sometimes we have got loss of MB, sometimes we see there is a theft of MB, sometimes the contractor raises an objection or signs in protest, or sometimes the MBs are mishandled or improperly handled in transit. Now we will understand what is the most important things that are to be noted while handling or recording in the measurement book. Since MB is a legal, auditable and part of contractual documents, its record has to be maintained in a proper measurement book record register issued by the AO. A movement and transit of measurement book is also recorded and maintained in measurement book movement record register. It being an official document can only be handled by official persons and unauthorized persons cannot do so. It can be produced as an evidence in the court of law or during arbitrations and also during any official government enquiries. The notes at the start of MES measurement book IAFW 2261 should be read in total by all the executives before starting the recording. The MBs should begin with the details such as particulars of contract, location, name of the person who is carrying out the measurements and the date. The measurements should be entered neatly with blue pen against item of work executed, mentioning its location, also giving the breakup details of all the dimensions along with the unit of measurement. No cutting, erasure or overwriting and interpolation in a measurement book is allowed. If done, then it should be properly signed by the contractor or his authorized representative along with the engineer in charge to avoid any further financial disputes in the future. Every RAR and the final bill should be prepared only after joint measurements, which is recorded by the representative of department as well as the contractor in jointness. Measurement book is a permanent record of work executed and so should be stored properly. Engineer in charge should notify the contractor well in time for recording of measurements. The contractor will also provide assistance of tools, equipment, manpower required for measurements without any extra cost to the government. In case of loss or theft of MB, the custodian of the MB when it is lost is responsible and the action will be taken against him as per the para 18 of the notes of measurement book. The same should be immediately informed to the higher authorities, including the explanation given by all concerned in the chain of custody. Now we will see what is a financial stock taking report and what are the important points that are required remembered with respect to the financial stock taking report for a tender. As shown on the view foil, financial stock taking report is shown. It includes the name of the work, the authority, the person who has carried out the financial stock taking, giving the details of item of work, approval of Adam approval amount, amount after Adam approval, CA amount and the further DO limit or saving or expenditure, whatever it is finally it is arrived at by the AO is verified. All these details are then calculated and we arrive at the saving or negative or the expenditure of the work. This all document is auditable and is verified by the AOGE. Importance of financial stock taking report. It is very important report to exercise financial control of a job and contract so as to avoid financial implications at a later stage. Before according any approval in principle of any deviation, the position of funds available oblique the savings is ascertained with the help of a financial stock taking report. This report is prepared by the GE or the executives and has to be verified by the AOGE. A single financial stock taking report represents a job and a job can have a number of contracts involved in it. So we see for executing financial control of a tender, the financial stock taking report is the most essential and relevant document for a tender. Thank you.